Hello everyone and welcome back. So today's video is swatch comparisons on the 3 Box of Mary polishes. And I'm going to let you guys know that this was actually really tough to find stuff that was similar. And in reality there was only about 1 for each that was truly close, but I put the next closest in the lines. So I have 2 for the blue, 2 for the green, and 4 for the purple, though if I went to the closest, there would only be 1 for each. So, alright. I already have my swatch sticks ready. So, I hope that this will be helpful for you guys. So, I'm going to start with Aurora Veil. Grab the stamper. And one thing I forgot to grab. Okay. I love purples, so I'm really excited to see what this looks like. Go ahead and swatch the top. Yeah, already I know which one is going to be closest, the one I was first reminded of. Okay, so I'm going to grab my swatch stick. Let's go ahead and stamp over the black. Shows up very nicely over black. And now over white. Very nice. Okay. And now as a solid, color. This is a very beautiful purple, guys. I am loving this purple. Showing brighter on camera, which is interesting. Let's go ahead and clean that off the mat real quick. All right. So now I'm going to go ahead and do the comparison for Aurora Veil. This is a highly pigmented shimmery cream polish and it's quite beautiful. Okay. So this is what Aurora Veil looks like by itself. So the next one I have is Gumdrop. And they're similar shades. They're both, this is a very sheer shimmery one though, but they both look a lot alike in the bottle. So I'll show you what it looks like next to it. And as you see right away, it's much more sheer. It is not a cream, so it does not show the same way. Whereas Aurora Veil is a shimmery cream. Okay, so this next one is Foxglove. And it is also a little bit more of a sheer. It's not so much a cream shimmery, it is a sheer one. Also a very pretty purple, and as you can see, very similar in the bottle, but you can tell that this is more translucent and this is more cream, but they are very similar colors. Okay, this next one is the one that I felt would be the closest to it. This is called Shattered B372. I'm not sure if this one's still available. I think it is. I believe this is going to be the closest one to it because it is a shimmery cream and not a sheer. But I'm pretty certain it's about a shade or two darker. Yes, it's a little darker. It is very close though. It is exceptionally close. And this last one is Eggplant. And it has a little bit more of metallic to it and less of the shimmer. And it is darker. But it is a cream metallic. It's more metallic and less of a shimmer. So we'll see the difference here in a moment. About time to empty my trash can again. It's getting full. Okay, let's just go ahead and grab Eggplant. I also really love this one. Eggplant's one of my favorite purple polishes. Though it's darker in the bottle, it's lighter in actual stamping. So it's quite a bit lighter than Aurora Veil. So I'll step these back just a little so you can see it in the light better. So as you guys can see, these three are quite different. This is the only one close to it, but it's a bit darker, guys. Zoom it in so you can see them side by side. Let's see how this is a little darker than Aurora Veil. And if you go up to the white, same thing, it's just a little darker, but they are very, very similar. So I would say that, as I had suspected, the closest one in color is Shattered. And it is a very nice one. So if you already have this color, you might not want this one. They are very close. They are very similar. They're not the same. They're a few shades different. I'd say roughly 2 shades different. But they're very close in color. So I'm going to go ahead and put these off to the side. And go ahead and clean up the matte, and then we'll go in with Evergleam and its two comparison colors. So I hope today everybody's day is going well. I am still having some nerve pain and healing on my hand from where Patches bit me. He's still feeling a lot of guilt on that. He's been snuggling up to me a lot because the bite was never intended for me. It was intended for Cloud. Not that Cloud did anything wrong. Like I said in the video, he's a bully. We have tried to integrate him into the colony many of times, and before we had gotten him from our friend, he was causing problems within her small colony that she had. We really can't call it a colony. It was more of a mischief. There was only 3 total, including him. So with that being said, we were already expecting to have difficulties with him, and he continued to cause problems and has been attacking the others. So he is officially completely by himself and will remain that way for the remainder of his life, because not only is it expensive, it is exceptionally dangerous to have him fixed, and there's no guarantee that that would correct his behavior. So I'm not going to go through all that. I'm not going to put him through all that. He's close enough that he can interact through the bars, but not close enough to actually harm any of the others. And he gets play dates, so he's not completely isolated. The cages are next to each other, and they do interact and socialize in that manner. He just cannot be near them because of the fact that he cannot seem to treat them nicely. And he gets way too aggressive. So he is by himself, but we're almost healed. There's still a little ways to go, but this spot right here, I think when he bit this spot, he hit some major nerves, because I still have a lot, and there's still swelling here too. I still have a lot of pain when that area gets bumped, and even just gently rubbing that was causing tingling. So I'm fairly certain there's some damage in there that needs to finish healing. So hopefully here soon it won't be so rough. I still struggle to bend my finger all the way. I can bend all of my others down all the way, but this one does not quite like to touch all the way down anymore. So until it finishes healing, it probably won't. So for Evergleam, I have Tutu Melee and Willow for the 2 closest to it. And my sticker fell off. I guess I get to re-glue it again. Yay! Oh, come on. I don't want glue flakes on my mat. Okay, let's add a dot of glue. Come on. Stick down. And not to my finger. I swear these stickers like to stick better to my finger than they do the bottle. Okay. So, go ahead and swatch Evergleam. That's pretty. Over the black. That is very bright over the black, guys. That shows so beautifully over that. Wow. Okay. I'm enjoying this one. And over the white, nice and bright. Yes, beautiful. And then our solid. That is beautiful. This is a very nice green. All right, put that to the side. I don't see any of these coming close enough to be worth substituting with. 22 Melee seems like it's about 4 or 5 shades lighter. Grab 22 Melee. Yeah, that's plenty mixed. Oh yeah, that's way lighter. In the bottle they look pretty close, but this is quite a few shades lighter. You wouldn't think it was that much different in color looking at them side by side, but they are very, very different. So next up is Willow, which I knew was going to be lighter, but it's going to probably be significantly lighter. Say, guys, there was only one in each that really seemed like it was remotely close. And so far, only one color out of the 3 new colors had one even remotely close. Now there was creams that without shimmer that were similar, but these are shimmer creams. They're not basic creams. And yeah, this one's significantly lighter. Okay guys, so as you can see, I don't even need to bring the stick out for this. These are much lighter. These two are much lighter than Evergleam. 22 Melee is probably about 4 to 6 shades lighter. But it is also a very shimmery green. And Willow is significantly lighter in green. And this is shimmery green. Though when you pull them side by side, it doesn't seem like it's much lighter, but it's a lot lighter. And these two look very close. side by side, but this one is several shades lighter. So this one is very unique. Unless you're wanting a plain cream, it is very unique. There's no substitute past that that's going to match. The creams is the closest thing. Now the closest thing I saw in cream, I believe, would be Seedling. If I'm gonna guess, yes. Okay, so here's Seedling next to Evergleam. Seedling is just a basic cream, no shimmer, and Evergleam, sorry, not Evergreen, Evergleam is a shimmery version essentially. So that is our greens. Let's go ahead and clean up our mat, and then we will go into Icy Sky, which is the final one. It's the blue. Once again, I had a lot of trouble finding blues, and this was the best I could get. It was Wyma and Splash, and I know that both are probably going to be very different. I feel like the only one that had anything close was Aurora's Veil, and that was Shattered. That was closest to that one. I really feel like the Evergleam and Icy Sky, the closest things you're going to find are going to be non-shimmers. And even then, it's going to be different. So these are very nice. I like them a lot. I can't wait to see what this blue looks like swatched. I have not done anything other than look at it in the bottle. It has been a very busy weekend. The kids had lots of fun. They got to see they got to have their first movie theater experience. I wouldn't say it's the first time that they've seen this movie because it was K-pop Demon Hunters and they are obsessed with it. But it was their first time going to a movie theater and having an actual movie theater experience. And they had a blast. So we got to do that Saturday and they had so much fun trick-or-treating. They had a blast with Halloween. And the youngest decided to be Cup Noodles, and the oldest decided to be a ninja. So it was quite adorable. All right. Let's go ahead and swatch Icy Sky. Interesting. Maybe those two will be closer than I thought. So that'll be interesting. And this is why we swatch. This is why we swatch. Always swatch. Over black. So it's not as opaque over black as I would have liked or as expected of a blue, but it's certainly opaque. The other two colors in this collection definitely were more opaque over black than this blue was. Though this is a very, very pretty blue. It has a beautiful blue shimmer. So let's go ahead and get ready for the comparison. So my November Mani Me box has not come in yet. I am still waiting on it. Hopefully it does not take as long as the box of Mary did. The box of Mary took over a week to arrive. In fact, it was dangerously close to 2 weeks before it finally showed up. And normally it doesn't take that long for my stuff to arrive, but we are getting in the holiday season and USPS is, well, if any of you are familiar with them, they can be quite slow. Okay, so I believe this is called Wyma, and we're going to go ahead and, ooh, I need to clean this bottle. Scam colors, they love me so much. They won't leave me alone. It's that time of year. So this is a beautiful blue, but it has, instead of a blue shimmer, more of a pink shimmer. And it's quite beautiful, don't get me wrong, but it is different. And it shows very much so against the black. And I'll give you guys a close-up here in just a moment. We'll go ahead and swipe it across for the white. So over the white, they look damn near identical. So over the black, the difference shows horrendously. So over darker colors, you would definitely notice the difference, and over lighter colors, they would look practically the same. As you can see, over the black, quite different. Over the white, very similar. Alright, and now for Splash, which this one I'm very certain is going to look quite different because it is more of a sheer and not a cream. Even the consistency of the sheer ones is different from the cream. You can pretty much tell right away that it's a different style of polish right off the bat, because they're more of a jelly base, and jelly bases are very different from the cream. Alright, so let's go in there. Now that I've cleaned my plate and my scraper card, so I don't forget to do that because I have major memory issues, especially this time of year with everything going on. So, well, it does still look similar, mostly over the white than it does over the black, but even over the black, it's closer than Wyma. So here you can see over the white, Wyma is much closer than Splash is to Icy Sky. And over the black, Splash is closer to Icy Sky than Wyma is. Wyma has that pinkish purple duochrome, as they call it. It has a pink purple shift, and that is the shimmers that's in it. And this is just blue shimmers. So the blue shimmers matches Splash over black way more than it does Wyma. But over white, Wyma has Splash beat by a mile, because Splash is, as you can see, much more sheer. It doesn't have that cream element. So these two look a lot closer. I'm actually kind of surprised by that. I expected them to look a lot more different for that than what it did. So that is really surprising. I'm not gonna lie, that is really surprising on that front. So they just won't leave me alone. And I've already got a voicemail from the last one. Okay, so that is the 3 new colors and their comparisons. So that is Icy Sky, Evergleam, and Aurora Veil. So these are beautiful and quite unique, though I would say out of these 3, green doesn't really have a replacement, okay? Out of these 2, you can kind of substitute them, more so the Aurora Veil than Icy Sky, but you do have some substitution available to an extent, depending on what you're trying to do. But all 3 of these are definitely unique and quite beautiful. So, really, guys? That's number 3 already. Come on. They literally called the second it hit 7 o'clock in the morning, and they won't stop until it hits 8 o'clock at night. So, I'm sorry, guys. It's that time of year, and they are not going to leave me alone. So, all right. I hope that you guys found this video helpful, and I hope that this gives you an idea of what these colors look like, and if you are wanting to purchase them, because they are not exclusive to the box. They're not. So they will become available here pretty soon on the Maniology website, so you'll be able to purchase them. And they are very nice. I'm really happy to have them as part of my collection. In fact, they were probably my favorite part of the box, which is kind of funny, because I do like the plates. No, those are my second favorite. I take that back. The powder flakies was my favorite. These are my second favorite. The flakies were absolutely gorgeous. So if those of you who didn't see my unboxing video, you might want to go back and check it, because like I said, so the stuff in it was quite nice. The most disappointing thing was the cuticle pusher, and it's not as bad as the plain, and I mean plain basic nail clippers that was in the very first Christmas box. That was disappointing to see. That's part of the whole reason why I didn't even purchase it. I watched an unboxing video. It was before I started my channel, and I looked at it and I said, I don't need those pigment powders. I have those kinds of golds. I have those kinds of silvers, and that was an exclusive in it. And it's like, and it gave you nail clippers, just basic plain nail clippers. In fact, it was even more plain than my Beetles nail clippers. It was like this, but just plainer and smaller. And I was very disappointed to see that. And I was like, nail clippers? You couldn't even jazz it up a little? And it was called Fruitcake. The exclusive polish in it, it was not a stamping polish, mind you. The exclusive regular polish looked like the inside of a baby's diaper. It was not pretty at all. It was very fugly. And so I did not want to, I did not want to get that box. I was able to get the non-exclusive items, which was all the stuff that I wanted, which was the stamping polishes and the plates. Those are the parts of that box that I actually really loved, and none of those parts were exclusive to the box. So I was not in the least bit disappointed about not getting the very first Christmas box they released, because like I said, I didn't personally think it was worth the money that it was being asked for. So that being said, the Christmas boxes since have been pretty on point. that they have been quite nice. I definitely have zero qualms about the ones I've had since. And they've improved. I think they understood the first one. I don't think the first one did quite as well as they expected it to. We really didn't appreciate the setup they had in that first one. Some of us fans really liked it. Some of us were kind of like, that's a lukewarm. And for me, it was a lukewarm. They're really good about taking in their customers' advice and what their customers would like to see. So I do really like this box, and these colors are absolutely stunning. They're quite nice, and I could see this even for like a St. Patrick's Day, not just during Christmas. I tend to like darker greens in Christmas, more like emerald greens, but this is very pretty. And I love blues and purples during the winter season altogether, because those of you who have been with me for a while know I love snowflakes and things like polar bears and penguins and stuff like that. That is my jam during the Christmas/winter season. So, yeah, no, I absolutely love these colors, and they are quite a nice addition to my collection. And I do believe that is all that I have. So I hope you all are having a good morning, afternoon, evening, night, whatever it may be, wherever you're at while you're watching this video. So until next time, guys, thank you for watching. Bye.